What are we going to
Let's bring the Borough of Monaca regular council meeting for June 28, 2016 to order. Will everybody please rise for an invocation and flags for President Margio?
Thank you, President Brewer. Let's bow our heads, please. Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, send down upon those who hold office in this town the wisdom, charity, and justice, that with steadfast purpose they may faithfully serve in their offices to promote the well-being of all people of Monaca. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Snyder?
Here.
Mrs. Rossi? Here. Mr. Rossi?
Here.
Mr. Mulder?
Present.
Mr. Schotter?
Here.
Mr. DiMarzio?
Present.
Vice President Zigarelli?
Present.
Mr. Wilson?
Present.
Mr. Michael? President Brewer?
Present.
Mayor Ammeline?
Present.
Okay, we'll move on. Mr. Sadak, the engineer's report.
Good evening. On the report, a couple of things. There are projects that were bids that were opened previously that just I'm keeping on my list that needs to be awarded eventually is the paving project, 2016 paving project, and the water line replacement project. The paving was by, a little bit was Youngblood, and the water line replacement project Martina. And I'll just leave it until that's awarded. The last item I have is the wall along the cemetery. We had estimate to replace the wall $55,000. That does not include mains protection of traffic that we're hoping that PennDOT would offer to provide for whoever does the work. That's all I have.
Any questions?
Thank you. Good evening, Tom. Quick question for you. That 55, is that going to cover design, concept all the way through construction?
Council authorized $1,500 previously, so the geotechnical firm provided that design. So that included, that was by using the design provided by the geotechnical firm. And the stone wall, I think that was information provided previously to council. The type of the wall, I apologize, I can't remember.
Yeah, council was provided the,
Okay, so there was like a prefabricated style that has like a, look like it's a stone up on the outside.
Right.
And that design was, is that would be at that $55,000.
One other thing I want to make it clear on record with this. The stone that comes out of there,
That would be the boroughs.
yes, so remain with the borough and possibly may go on the other end. But I'm looking down the road. I don't want it to disappear. I don't want any problems with it. It belongs, it's part of that cemetery, okay? That's all I have. Thank you.
Yeah, one thing to clarify, I wasn't sure if this would be done under a emergency sort of thing, because it might fail at any time. Instead of going through the whole process of bidding, we got a couple of quotes that actually provided from contractors. My point to you is that we're $55,000, but the longer you wait, the more potential something happening.
Frank?
Interlocking, reinforcement wall, is that what we're entertaining?
These are almost like stones. In the back, they'll backfill and they'll turn into like almost like a earthen wall or a gravity wall. Sort of.
They burst a lot?
Not exactly. I apologize. I didn't have that information with me. But I can
Is
provide,
there any kind of funding that we can get for the cemetery? Through the Veterans Organization? We got any veterans in that group?
Civil War.
Something they want to do?
Yeah, as Mr. Sadaka indicated, unfortunately, the wall, if you looked at it, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
Next rainfall, and in the event that would fail, it's probably gonna end up on Route 18.
No doubt.
So, we've been notified by PennDOT of it. We spent some time trying to quantify whether or not it was ours or not, and after surveying, and, the wall's ours, and we need to do something about it, and pretty sooner than later. We're looking at a $50,000 cost. We have to do it, and the sooner the better before, I don't want to jinx it, but it's a life or something.
It's getting worse.
So, I know in my office, I have that quote, it's right around 50,000, but that doesn't address traffic control with PennDOT. So we would need to have a meeting with PennDOT to coordinate that and see if there'd be any assistance with them. Matt, I actually emailed Mr. Sadaka this afternoon. We are tentatively scheduling another meeting with PennDOT just to discuss the improvements that they have planned for next year on Route 18 and 9th Street, repaving that. We just want to try to do some coordination with their project and potentially some streetscape that we may be undertaking as well. So hopefully when we coordinate that meeting, we can also discuss traffic control for the construction of that wall as well. But I guess, Mr. Sadaka is just looking for some guidance from council with an authorization for us to move forward with having that wall replaced. Obviously, Mr. Sadaka, under an emergency situation, you would have to certify that from an engineering standpoint that you classify it as that, I think, legally. That would suffice. But we need authorization on council's willingness to spend that $50,000.
When are you gonna have that meeting? Because this is an emergency situation with PennDOT. I mean, if you gotta bypass all the other stuff, we were talking about priority. This is priority one because we don't wanna put a boulder in somebody's car. So the position I'm taking on it is that we do this as quickly and as safely as we can get it done. If you get there okay for traffic control and get it done. And I would imagine we have the support of council to do that. If we need to vote on it, whatever needs to be done, it needs to be done. I think that wall is getting bad, as you're aware of. Mr. Shaw and I were looking at it. It's just not one spot. It's a ripple effect all the way through. So if you got to meet with them just for traffic control for that wall, I would suggest you do that before something happens. I don't want to see somebody get hurt. I don't think anybody does.
Jeff?
Tony, did they, who's responsible for the walkway or channel that's beside that wall? I know there's a curb, but I think it's wider than a curb.
well, the right-of-way line is right at the face of the wall, so anything between, what am I going to explain? The face of the wall towards the road is PennDOT right-of-way. So the way it is, the wall is yours, and the sidewalk is, technically it's not, if I'm answering your question.
Yes. Is there a footer under that wall?
We don't have plans, I assume there'll be something, I don't know for sure.
No, I'm saying it,
It's
because
not
it
gonna
came
go
down
on
one
this-
time, we had to rebuild it, correct?
They just pushed it back from what I understand.
They pushed it
wasn't
back.
rebuilt, no. At least that's what I was informed.
Yes, that's the story. You got pushed back.
Yeah, it wasn't rebuilt.
And this block you're talking about, is it easily washed out?
I'm not a geotechnical engineer, but I'm assuming the design will be that whenever it's installed, it'll be safe for a long time.
All right.
Again, I'm not sure if that makes your question.
And just for council's sake, anytime we have another flood down there, Mary, I wish we would log it, especially if we're gonna spend this money on this wall. That's their problem underneath there. And I'm still convinced that that wall getting flushed out was due partly to the flooding. So anytime we have future flooding, I think
That's your opinion.
that's part of the reason, I think. But if we're gonna install a new wall, I would like it logged
As far,
anytime we have a flood.
as far as the flooding is PennDOT's problem, is still, I guess it's debatable as a problem.
Well, I would like that logged if we could, please. Thank you, Tony.
Sure.
Anything else? Thanks, Tony. Visitors' comments in regards to items on the agenda. Is there any comments in regards to item on the agenda? Mario, communications?
No communications this evening.
Okay, at this time, I'll need a motion to approve regular meeting minutes of June 15th, 2016 council meeting.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Motion to approve special meeting minutes of June 22nd, 2016.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. This time I'll need a motion to approve the monthly bills.
So moved.
Very good. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Mayor's report? Mary Ellen?
Yeah, the total number of citations and warnings was 121. The total criminal arrest was 27. The total calls to service for the month was 212. Total monetary receipts for the month of May was $4,610.91. I'd just also like to tell everybody that the housing patrol has started and going out through August. Also on July the 6th, at the Central Valley Middle School, which is the old high school, police department's going to be having an active shooter drill going on. Since we haven't had one yet for that. Also, the sergeant's written exam test is taken, and the interview process will begin sometime in the next few weeks. That way we have to keep that for us. Questions?
Thank you. Manager's report, Mr. Leo.
Thank you, President Booher. I don't have a lot to report this evening. I was on vacation the past week, but while I was gone, everything went smoothly, and I want to thank the office staff for all their support, keeping things quiet, not interrupting me on my vacation. Just updating on some progress. Mr. Sadaka indicated we have the road bids and the water line bids still out. We're looking to close on the bond financing at our next meeting. So if that stays the course and we're able to close on the bond, then we'll have the money to authorize and approve both of those respective bids. CJ Mansion project is still moving forward nicely. Looking forward to getting the Anaheim Park project started here as well. And also the solar project, they started working on the foundation of the garage building. So that's pretty much an update. And the next week will pretty much just be working, prepping for the Community Day event on Saturday. That concludes my report. Any questions? Frank?
I believe at the special meeting, we had some discussion about someone working electrical down there for that day.
Already taken care of.
Everything's kind of in line.
Oh,
The lights, did they go through?
I didn't do anything with the lights from the last meeting, but I guess I receive some direction, and we'll get moving on that. Again, we have a lot of electrical issues that we're gonna have to address down there, so I think we'll coordinate the installation of those lights when that electric work is being done.
Any other questions? Thanks. Or solicitor's report, Attorney Europe?
Regarding the property purchases, Dawn gave me the address of the owner of two of the properties that we were interested in. I've drafted a letter to her. I don't know that it went out, might have gone out today. Not today, it'll go out tomorrow. Asking her some questions and asking her to meet with us once again. Dawn has tried to coordinate that several times, and we've been left holding the bag. She hasn't shown up, so hopefully this will do the trick. And whatever, and if we ever meet with her, we'll report back to you. I also responded to Mr. Schotter's request about the alley and other street ordinance, where you want to redo that ordinance. I got back to him a little later than I thought I would, but I got back to him. And I would like to meet with the members of the committee that will be involved in the negotiation of the upcoming police negotiations. So I'll ask Mario to coordinate that. That's all I have.
Any questions? Thank you. Monaca Volunteer Community Outreach. Ms. Hayes.
We're just moving forward with the typical work we do every week. Most everything downtown is weeded, just a couple small islands need some attention. I spoke with Mr. Leone via email, actually, and he inquired about CJ Mansion. That will be completed by 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. So it'll be ready for mulching and whenever you're ready to attack that. The only thing I'd like to ask is if maybe they could put a little heavier coat this time. A lot of the mulch has disappeared or blown away from it. It was a light coat. So that would help a lot in the weed control there. I have a question. Was there any spraying done on Cascade?
No, it's actually on the agenda for this evening.
Okay, because I saw some dead areas, but I didn't want to take the kids in unless I knew for sure. I wanted to make sure they had gloves and everything if we were going to do a trash pickup. Still doesn't look too bad, but I thought I'd just wait a week or so. But if you do spray, could you let me know so that I can make sure that those kids aren't getting into weed killer? And that's the only thing I'd ask. Thank you.
If I'm not mistaken, either late last year or early this year, we did spray that. But, you know, I don't know about you folks, I've been cutting my grass every 3 days because of all this rain and heat. So the vegetation unattended is growing like crazy too. So I see it coming over the guardrail, so.
Well, that I see, but it's on the roadside going up on the right-hand side. I've noticed like strips of dead grass. And I wasn't sure if that had been sprayed or not, or if it just happened to die. But I just wanted to make sure that the kids were safe with the chemicals.
I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Business Authority?
Mr. Leone? What,
I think it's still ongoing, but we're just status quo. I know we've had some struggles of getting the quorum to do anything,
Okay.
but I think we meet as advertised, and there's no quorum, there's
No
no
quorum,
business
okay.
taken, but
so keep moving forward. Okay, that's all I needed to know with the business authority. I didn't know if there was redevelopment plans or something, or another commission, and that if we would be just sort of linked up on that, or no help at all. So that's why I was inquiring. Okay, we'll keep moving forward. Thank you.
Thanks, Pat. Executive Committee, Mr. Wilson?
Yes. Committee committee met last week. We did not have a full committee meeting, but we did meet last week. Only one item was voted upon, and that item is later on the old or new, it's on the new business, I believe. I'm looking at.
It's under old
I
business.
don't have the updated agenda up, but I'll find it 1 second. Yeah, it's under old business, motion number B. The committee met in regards to the size of the fence, and the type of the fence, and the recommendation was to deny the special exception for the fence. That was the recommendation of the committee. The committee also met in regards to the public works and water part-timers, and we got an updated status on their progress within the first 30 days. We also put together a list to speak with Mr. Mario Leon, Borough Manager, on what we're looking for the public works and water to take care of after community days. I believe that's all we met on.
Is there any other questions? Any questions? Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, under new business, we need a motion to approve quote from Tuma Lawn Service for vegetation control in the amount of $1,328.15. This includes roadside 14th Street Hill, Cascade Road, Colonial Hill, Eckerd Road, and by the toll bridge. $782.75, boat launch $318.15, brush hog, Japanese knotweed, at the boat launch $227.25.
Make a motion to second.
Question, Frank?
No, you made a motion and I seconded it.
Okay. Any questions on the motion?
Yes.
Jeff?
Did we budget enough for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
All in favor? Oh,
Just real quick, I think every year we do that.
yeah, this goes on the budget.
Right,
Prices might go up.
correct.
I believe. With those areas there, we're starting to see it come back up at the cemetery here outside of town on the high end of where that wall's starting to collapse. Can we include that? Is it right?
Might be gone once they fix the wall.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, again, they're spraying, just so you're not confusing, they're spraying to kill weeds. And remember, the knotweed, and in order to kill the knotweed, that treatment needs to go down in
October, so we can revisit
Okay,
that treatment.
fair enough.
Or-
Yeah, okay, I'm good with that. Thank you.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Motion to approve $15,000 donation to Monaca Public Library. This is the annual money that we give them.
Yeah, this is budgeted, and
that we annually do it around this time of year, just for a cash flow
Second.
purpose, so.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Discuss Fall Fest donation amount. Is that you, Mr. Schott?
Yeah, I'll table this until the next meeting. There was catching everyone up, there was a meeting held last week about Fall Fest. And a couple of the members are getting back to Recreation to find out if Recreation wants to merge the Halloween parade with Fall Fest. And then from there, we'll have an idea of a date and kind of what the committee wants Fall Fest to look like, so we'll have a better idea of the donation request then.
Mr. Mayor, I recommend that happens. That way we have a better grip on everything that's going on.
Motion to hire Andrew Galletti as Neighborhood Service Officer at $1,500 per month and 25 hours per week.
so moved.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
When are you starting, Mayor?
Let me get it back from this
Funny.
time.
Can't get him here sooner?
Motion to approve or deny special exception for fence permit application 1105 Pacific Avenue, tenant Kira George. Fence, hedges, or other planting structures or wall at street corners shall not be located as to interfere with the clear sight triangle on the corner lots. The height of such objects is restricted to 3.5 feet within the clear sight triangle. So I need a motion to approve or deny.
I'll make that motion to deny.
Do I have a second on that?
I'll second.
Is there any questions? If you vote yes, that means you agree with the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Fence permit is denied. Move on to, well, we'll go, I'll pull, Jeff, you have anything? Hold or no?
No.
Gary?
No, sir.
Chris?
What's the update with the jetter for selling the sewer jet?
Apologize, there's been a lag in there. We were waiting to get an estimated value from the distributor, and they were gonna do a search among their municipal clients as well. Unfortunately, with Danny leaving, the follow up and through didn't happen. So I will circle back with them and try to get it, because no its value.
Right.
Even if we were to put it out for advertisement, what bids would be acceptable or not, so.
Frank, you have a question on that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you put that on Craigslist? Once you find out the value of it?
Well, we'll have to put it out for bid.
When we break it, we want theirs, right?
Yeah.
Same time we.
Well, no, it's not exactly the same kind of deal.
No, I mean, getting it publicized. You know what I mean? Try to give anyone.
Yeah,
an opportunity.
we got New Brightons before they actually
Right.
advertised it, because there's a borough code where we can sell to one municipality to another and not go through the bidding process,
Gotcha.
as long as you're getting fair market value for it. But then outside, you have to go through a bid process if it's not a municipal entity. So right now, we need to determine what the actual value of it is first.
Anything else? Eric?
I just want that clarification that for the record, that motion, item number B under old business, was to deny the special exception for the fence, not deny a fence permit, but a special exception for that fence. That's all that I have.
Zig? Eric? Frank?
Monaca sign, was that ever replaced?
On Marshall Road?
I believe, was that from Dragon Jacks?
Yeah, not yet. It was hit by a vehicle.
Right.
We do have the sign. They need to refabricate the one post, and they're actually gonna do both posts, and they're gonna do the PVC kind of, so we don't have to worry about painting it, keeping it. It'll kind of preserve it, and then the sign will be in the middle.
Should we probably wait until that road is paved? Just put it back.
Yeah, I don't,
What about steel post, or even if you're gonna do PVC, fill it with concrete?
yeah, I think the PVC's kind of fit over top of the 4x4. Yeah, but then you don't have to worry about painting and staining it
Right.
if you put the cap on each end. Because they had the plastic caps, but they were painted blue, and, you know, it was a maintenance issue. So this will be a little less maintenance and address the sign a little bit. So it's in the works. They have a work order for it. Probably after community days, we'll get that.
Randy? Any Ray? John?
Thank you. Chris, we forgot to talk about our ordinance review. What do we want to do about we have a list of areas in the borough, no parking. And it came up time and time again, we're not sure about who's, where we're allowed to park or the alleys now. There's already designated areas. So if it's okay with council, it's okay with the mayor, Mayor, I don't know if you need to tell your police officers or give them a copy of that, what alleys. But Mulberry Alley here, I believe, that is Mulberry, we repaved last year. Somebody parks there. We would like to see people not park where it's in the ordinance and designated not to park. In addition to that, I have to ask the question because I can't remember that far back, and specifically 10th Street, in the parking situation there. Did we vote to change the ordinance? And I don't expect an answer. It's just food for thought. If you want to go back and check the records. That's all I have.
And I have a question in regards to that. Are you stating that there's signs in certain alleys that saying you can't park? Or are you saying there's signs in certain alleys that say you can park?
I'm saying there is an ordinance in the book, on the books right now, with designated areas where you can't park. And we're ignoring it. Probably because we've just basically had turnover of people over the years and people never really thought about it. So either we change the ordinances or we enforce them. That's all I'm asking. Which way do we want to go here? So they're on the books right now, so it's not enforced.
Is this the one you were talking about, Rich? Parking lot and alleys?
Mr. Schauer, you'd be able to answer that, right?
Yeah, so the ordinance in question is 225-70, and it's basically a list of areas that are parking is prohibited at all times. So Mulberry Alley is a tentative alley. So basically we took every alley in the borough and said you cannot park in it. So from there, if we want to cut alleys and allow people to park into it, we can. But Mulberry is one that is to be added to the list. So it's presently permissible to park if you park on the grass and whatnot, if you don't obstruct the alley.
What was the number, 225?
Yeah. 70.
Fast.
Chris, you saying that one is okay parking?
It's not listed as a parking prohibited at all times road at this time. So whatever would be in state motor vehicle code that says you can't park there, we fall under that. But in terms of no vehicle can park there around the clock isn't in our ordinance at this time. But that's to be added once we get to that point.
Frank, did you have something?
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna discuss the ordinances, can we get them put on the agenda and pages here so that we can follow along there? She's pulling it up now.
Chris?
Yeah, I'll forward it out.
Is that it? Okay, we'll move on to citizens' comments, complaints, and compliments. Citizens, please state your name and address.
Yeah, is your microphone here on or not? Everybody hear me now?
I can,
My
I don't know. if the-
My name's Bob Robinson, 1212 Grimer Street, Monaca, resident of Monaca. I have one issue I'd like to draw to you, as I brought it up before, about Charles Street behind the senior citizen building. I'd like to make it a one-way street. It's very inadequate to drive on that street with traffic coming both ways. We have a new business on the corner of Allen Avenue in Charles. It's a income tax place, and they got a lot of traffic, a lot of cars. When you come up Allen Avenue approaching Bechtel Street, you want to make a right on Charles, you have to pull out, if you're going to go that way. I avoided it altogether now, but you have to turn past these cars, and all of a sudden, boom, here comes a car from Marshall Road coming down. There's nowhere to go. You got to back up. That didn't get through. If you're caught in the middle of that street, there's nowhere to go except in Jimmy Kovac's yard, beside the senior citizen building, to avoid it. It's just getting a hassle with people. So many people run that stop sign on Charles Street going across Allen Avenue to pursue the other way, so you're like pulling out, and there comes a car, boom. Now, if you do go up Charles, you want to make a right turn on the Marshall Road to head towards Center Township. I asked you this before about putting yellow paint in front of Tom King's house so nobody's parking up there. Well, it is, there's cars there. As soon as you pass the senior citizen parking lot, entrance or exit, whatever it is, you're in the left lane because you can't get in the right, and there's people turning in off of Marshall and cutting the corner off and almost hitting you head on. We need to make the street one way like it was a few years back, just to alleviate that. Make it going out from Allen to Marshall one way. Anybody off Marshall has to go to the stop sign, make a left on Beckle, make a left on Allen to go that way. Make it a one-way street, a lot safer. It's a safety issue more than it is anything. And I'd like to see us do something about that. I brought it up once before, and the only answer I got was going to paint a yellow curb in front of Tom King's house, but that's not the answer. It'll make that street a one-way street.
Did you say there's a business up there too?
Yeah, on the corner is a tax company, they get their sign, your income tax, to get your income taxes done.
Which street's that?
It's on Charles, it's on the corner of Allen and Charles. The resident, I don't know who lives there now, it used to be Miller's house before that was a McCurry house there. I don't know who lives there now. But it's very congested there with the cars there. You cannot safely make a right turn off of Allen to head towards Marshall Road. I go straight up to Beckville now. But then in the event, if I do go that way and I look and there's not that much traffic, I'll go up there. Here comes somebody off of Marshall Road, cuts the corner off, and almost hits me head on. Because there's a car parked in front of Tom King's house that I gotta be in this lane and I can't be over. I mean, and when the sun's out at a certain time of the day, it's bad. I'd like to see us just make it a one-way street again. When you're on Marshall Road, put a sign up, no left turn onto Charles Street, you gotta go all the way around. We had it that way at one time. I don't know how long it was that way, whether it was a few years or whatever. It was more, it was more than a couple of years or so. You'd have to look back in your books about it, but I'd like to see you get back to that. The only thing the borough did previously to all the problems before, this was years back, they put signs up, no parking, on the senior citizen side of the street. But still, it's not wide enough for cars all parked down there. With all these cars parked down here, you can't take two cars past each other. There's no way possible. And you're gonna get in all kind of houses with people, you know. And today, everybody's carrying a gun, you can't say nothing to them because they're gonna shoot you, you know. It's crazy. That's one issue. I'd like to get you guys to look into that. Okay? And another thing I noticed so much, 14th Street, Pennsylvania Avenue. If I'm coming out 14th Street, there's no sign that says I can't make a right turn on red. I can't make one anyway, because people's coming down and cutting the corners off. If I'm going up Pennsylvania Avenue, and I want to go up 14th Street Hill, I still can't pull up to the corner where that still plate's still on a daggone road and can't make a turn because they're cutting that corner off. So you sit back where the sign says stop here on red. If you're gonna stop here on red, there should be no right turn on red. So everybody should just stay there, because, people's cutting the corners off. Just put signs up, no right turn on red.
It's the same way on 9th Street.
I understand on Pennsylvania Avenue, PennDOT has to put the sign up. 14th Street, we can put the sign up, the borough can. And I got one other issue, where you're talking about the sign coming into Monaca, up to Monaca on Marshall Road there. Okay, the growth is so far out on the road, you can't see the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit sign. And I try to come there, when I hit Monaca Borough, 25. The borough was 25 through the whole borough. You go 25, people's just pushing. I stopped stop sign, I told the guy, "Can you see the sign?" No. Well, you can't see it because of the growth. But these are normal residents. These are people that drive through here every day. Just like the ones that are on a 4-lane here, pass you in front of Herzog's garage and beat you around the bend, traffic's backed up. But Charles Street's my main issue. So I'd like to see you guys look into that. Yep.
Mr. Robinson, Rob,
Yes, sir.
are there no parking signs still up?
Yes. On Charles Street?
Are they legible?
Yes.
Okay.
But the cars are parked on the opposite side. So it still makes
The
not enough
resident
room
side.
not enough room for 2 cars to get by.
I know.
And it's really got more so since these people are operating a business there, taxes, they got a sign that says we do taxes, income taxes. And the traffic, the cars are parked, they're parked right here. Here's a house on the corner. They're all parked here. So when I come this way and go here, I gotta go out into this lane, but I gotta stop out here and look, see if anybody's coming before I can go on that road. So I avoid it, I go around. But I wanna make it one way going out, and nobody turning in. Then the people come out of the senior citizen building, they can just make a left, go out to Marshall Road. It was the way it was at one time.
It was.
Okay,
It
thanks,
was.
guys.
Sure. Any other citizens? Citizen section is now closed. Rich, do we have anything under executive?
No.
Announcements? This Community Days is Saturday, July 22nd at the Monaca Pump House. July 2nd. Motion to adjourn.
What time?
It's at 1.
12.
Well,
It's 12 in the banner, but the thing says
12 on the
1.
banner, but 1 on the
Yeah,
dot.
1 on the big.
12 o'clock.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn, Frank, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?